Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. Today we have Paul and Jane Tipping who will lead us in meditation, and then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. And after that, we'll open it up for sharing, and we end at 10:45. Over to you, Paul and Jane.
Okay, we're live.
We're live. So, first of all, I want to say thank you for inviting us. This is exciting for us. We've chosen a lesson to read for just a part of a lesson to read for just a couple of minutes before we go into the meditation.
But before we get to the lesson, maybe we should share with them our thinking about how we got to the lesson.
Yes.
Here it is, Christmas time, and peace and love and miracles for everybody. And yet most of us that have families that we hang out with at Christmas time don't actually experience it that way.
Or sometimes we do, but even going beyond the family and looking at what's happening in the world, there's sort of a contradiction with the message of Christmas and what we've actually manifested here. And so we thought, under the concept of the outer is a reflection of the inner, that perhaps it would be a good idea to start with the lesson 185. We're just going to read a couple of paragraphs, and 185 is, I want the peace of God. And you don't have to, we'll read it to you. You don't have to read it yourselves unless you really want to. Is there anything else you want to say before we start this, Paul?
I can't think of anything else.
All right.
How about you?
No.
Okay.
All right. So, I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. If you could but mean them for just an instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place or time. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God entirely restored, the resurrection of all created fully recognized.
No one can mean these words and not be healed. He cannot play with dreams, nor think he himself a dream. He cannot make a hell and think it real. He wants the peace of God, and it is given him. For that is all he wants, and that is all he will receive. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want.
Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. For minds can only join in truth. In dreams, no two can share the same intent. To each, the hero of the dream is different, the outcome wanted not the same. Loser and gainer merely shift about in changing patterns as the ratio of gain to loss and loss to gain takes on different aspect or another form. So I think, read that again.
Yes.
Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God.
I think the peace of God lays in that line, sits in that line, because it's all about joining.
So
forgetting our stories and remembering the truth. So we're going to begin the meditation in just a moment. But throughout the meditation, I would suggest that you just repeat that line, that I want the peace of God. And who knows, maybe we can get to the place where we really mean it.
Okay. I think
Open your eyes and come back into the room. We have 19 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand and I'll invite you to speak. You can also use the electronic version hand at the bottom of the screen if that suits you. Terry.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you, Jane and Paul. You're a nice double act. Work well together. I think Paul highlighted that the key in the passage that you both read out is our sincerity in meaning it, isn't it? How sincere, how real am I? How much integrity am I bringing into this? I want the peace of God, or am I just half-hearted? And I think, in my experience, having a disciplined practice of meditation that helps me to be as present as I can be, so that I'm not going off on all the distractions, is helping me to be authentic in wanting the peace of God in that sense. And sometimes I think it's easier when people have reached personal rock bottom, so to speak, because when our egos are broken in a situation, we think, I just can't do this on my own. There must be a better way. If there is a better way, I want it. I want you. Please, please, please come. And I think that there's a real earnestness and sincerity, truth in that kind of plea, if you like, because it's authentic. I remember reading about an Indian guru, I can't remember which one it was, and he said that there's a lot of Western people come to my ashram, and seemingly on the surface they've spent all this money, so they're seeking, if you like, they want enlightenment and all the rest of it. But he said, I just see that it's most of it is on the surface. He said, if you really, really want it, you've got to be like a drowning man clutching at a piece of straw in the water, that real sincerity. And this particular guru was kind of alluding to the fact that most Westerners are kind of happy in the seeking. So food for thought, all of it. So thank you both. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment on your comment, which is, I think this is a very powerful meditation. As you said, if we take it really seriously, and what part of the mind goes to, I want the peace of God, but I don't think it's possible. It's like, it's a kind of back and forth, but to get to that deeper level that you're talking about, like I want the peace of God, and to finally, if you repeat it often enough, you come to, I am the peace of God, because that's where it starts. It's the peace inside of me.
Having done a lot of reflection on, we've been doing this for 30 years, so we've had a bit of time to reflect on the idea of, the goal of the course is the peace of God for all of us. And so what would that look like? What is that? Because our focus has always been the practical application of the material. And the closest I've come to as a definition would be if I can accept all that there is just as it is, then I have the peace of God. I am the peace of God. We do many workshops and trainings and stuff, and we say at the very beginning, if you've come to feel better, please leave. But if you've come to feel everything and be at peace with that, then maybe hang out, and maybe we can get there together.
There's Catherine.
Thank you. bringing this today, and for your comment and Terry's comment as well. What came up for me was, as it has quite a bit recently, or just regularly, how radical A Course in Miracles is,
Yes.
and how tempting it is to judge our progress by the way our world looks. And I love, Paul, that you two say that at the beginning of your at your workshops, if you've come to feel better, leave. But that is so, it's so tempting. Like, oh, if my life looks bad, I must be a bad A Course in Miracles student. But no, can I be at peace with the mess of my life? And you started by talking about, the world situation as well. Wow, what an aspiration to look at war, let yourself feel how you feel, and know that it's all held in the reality of peace. That war will pass and peace is here. Yeah, and to not compare. Like I read on a little bit on the lesson, and it's got the wonderful line, let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for others. My goodness, I have thoughts that I probably am, well, definitely am less reluctant to bring to Holy Spirit than others. And those are the very ones that, I make the greatest gift by bringing potentially, and saying, even this, God still is love, Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Who'd like to share? I'll jump in. This lesson is a beautiful gift that for me right now. I found out yesterday my neighbor and friend died in her sleep, and she was so beautiful, such an angel, and she, as far as I knew, she was healthy and vibrant and alive, and I was just shocked, um, and I'm suffering, from this. And I just think this lesson, when my mind is filled with all the upset, that I could just step back and say, I want the peace of God, and I think that might really help me.
Yeah.
So thank you for choosing this one.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And I think, loss and grief are so, they're just such an important part of the journey that we're on. And yeah, Dan, I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm glad that the lesson was helpful.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Teresa.
Yes, the neighbor is my neighbor as well.
Yeah.
And Dan said this morning, it's not something you really say, but it is something that's inside. And we thought, well, we'd be neighbors till we died. Well, we were neighbors until she died. But we be neighbors growing old, really old together. And what I liked about this meditation, and with us all joining, and with part of what you were saying, I have this lesson that I say, above all else, I want the peace of God. And I know sometimes it's just words, but sometimes I act as if, but this was, can I be at peace? Something you said was, can I actually be at peace with the grief that I feel? That I won't have my friend next door. And then when I move into, and this might be a plaster, I don't know, but when I move into, I am spirit and she is spirit, and I feel that she's completely with me then. But so anyway, thank you for the meditation, and thank you for everyone being here.
Thank you, Teresa.
Yes, thank you.
Who'd like to share? Terry.
Linda.
Oh, Linda, and then come over to Terry.
There we go.
Oh, is that me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my lessons over Christmas have been I seek but what belongs to me in truth, which is, and joy and peace are my inheritance. And that and the other one is God's peace and joy are mine. These have been my Christmas. So this is a lovely meditation gift that we've had today. Yes, I've made a commitment, because I can be all over the place the last month or so. I've made a commitment that I will focus on God. So I wake up, my alarm on for 5:45 every day, and meditate on focusing for that commitment that I know I want it, by determining that I will give that time where I've got no distractions. There's only me and God. And what I've found, I've been doing it now for a little while, what I have found is things are looking different. There is that peace. There is that peace and that joy and happiness that I've been asking to see for vision. What is vision? And it's all creeping in along those feelings now, without seeing with the eyes, and which is giving me that peace. So and I've had a really just a minute, let me just switch that off. It's my daughter. Yes, she's been her back went a week ago, and in Tesco's, and I'm looking after a dog. And I've been a lot more peaceful with, yeah, I'll have to go.
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's my son just come now.
Okay.
But this Christmas has been one of the most peacefulest that I've had.
That's brilliant.
My daughter's got a lot better. I was going to go to her for dinner Christmas Day, then she was poorly. I thought, oh, I'll be cooking, but it didn't work out. She still did it. She managed to get it done, and I had a really peaceful day. The most peacefulest day I've had Christmas ever.
That's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So, this build up to the meditations that I've been committing myself to, and now you've come up with this one, is just wonderful. Thank you.
No mistake.
You're welcome. Perhaps I can share with you, I don't know exactly how much time we have left, but I know we're short. Yes, Catherine?
No, I think it was 5 minutes, as she's saying.
Oh, 5 minutes. Okay. Well, I don't need the whole 5 minutes.
Good.
But I wanted to share with you what I do when I seem to have lost my peace of God. When it's when there's something else going on that has distracted me. And it's also from A Course in Miracles. It's from lesson 135. It's my absolute favorite paragraph that I've ever read in A Course in Miracles. And it's paragraph 18 from lesson 135. And I've changed it. I think I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm allowed to change one or two things. What I've changed is from the reading, or the section is in second person. And I've changed it to first person because I wanted to make it more personal. And it helps me every time to get back to a place of center. And it goes like this. What could I not accept if I but knew that all experiences, past, present, and to come, have been gently planned by one whose only purpose is my good? Perhaps I misunderstood his plan, for he would never lead me into pain. But my defenses did not let me see his loving blessing shine in every step I ever took. While I made plans for death, he has led me gently to eternal life.
Beautiful.
And it helps. What can I say? It helps me. Sue.
Yeah, hi. I've heard you read that verse, I don't know how many times, and I have never before heard you say, yet my defenses stopped me from
Right.
whatever it was that you said.
Yeah.
And that's just hit me like a ton of bricks. I've been finding things really, really difficult recently. And just to see that I could have the peace of God, even though things are difficult, and I've stopped myself from having it. And I just want to say thank you for, I knew you were going to read that verse, and I just want to thank you for putting in that bit that you've never put in before.
Oh, yeah, right. It's only written in the course, that's all. Maybe deafness is one of the defenses. Selective hearing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Terry, would you like to share?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's a lovely, intimate sharing from everyone, isn't it? You know, we're amongst friends. And I think one of the, for me, interpretations of being at peace is that it's okay if we feel shocked, or that we're grieving, or that we're missing someone who we were close to. It's okay. No, it's okay. I think there's a danger with some students in the Course in Miracles that pretend to be supermen and women and, you know, become robotic with emotions. But, you know, we're here, we're in human form, if you like. So we're going to miss people.
Yes.
Let's just accept that.
Yeah.
And be at peace with that. And wouldn't it be interesting, you know, given, you know, what Paul and Jane have shared this morning, the passage, how countercultural it is. Can you imagine any of us if someone says to us, so what do you want for Christmas? I want the peace of God.
Wrapped
Let's
with a bow.
give that a go next year, shall we?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Well,
Okay.
you make a good point. I think, you know, as Linda pointed out earlier, she's got kids. I don't know that peace of God and being a parent actually go together. It seems like
challenges.
it has its challenges.
Lessons, yes. Yeah.
Over to you, Dan.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you, Paul and Jane. That was wonderful. And take yourself off mute and show your appreciation to Paul and Jane.
Thank you,
so
Jane and
much.
Paul. Come again, please.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for being here.
We'll be back.
Bye-bye.